This is another installment of Stuff I Own, and I think everyone should be able to recognize this. This is the Christopher Reeve Superman from 1977, and this is another Mezco figure, and this is a beauty. Love this one. This is before, the 1977. It was for a big budget superhero movie. I would say this was the first of the major superhero movies. And so the costume has a very retro feel to it. And I think this is a fantastic interpretation of the costume from 1977. Now, the cape, it kind of bunches up. So the cape in the movie really laid flat. This has some wiring in it, but it really laid flat. But, it's very difficult to reproduce that on a 1/12 scale because this cape does not have the weight. It's, practically weightless. So it's not going to hang down like that. And also the collar is not correct, but I think that again, it's the best that they could do, given the situation. So costumes for movies nowadays, particularly like Superman costume, will have all sorts of patterning on the costume to give it a more a visual pop. And these are very simple, just simple blue, simple red. And so, and even you can see here kind of the separation in here. Whereas now in the Superman costumes, they don't have that kind of underwear look to it, that strongman type appearance. And I think people can disagree. I think it's better today with the visual look of the costumes. This feels like he's wearing some underwear, but I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it for this film. I just don't think that they should have continued on with using these very simple fabrics with no texturing or anything like that. But it from a retro standpoint, yeah, I love it. I love the colors are very vibrant. The red, the blue, the yellow. The belt feels kind of plasticky. And so the thing about Christopher Reeve was, I think he was about 6'4", and he was in very good shape, but he was not chemically enhanced, as far as I know. He did not appear to be. He looked like a normal human being in very good shape, and so he doesn't have that kind of comic bookish visual impact that you wouldn't see on a normal guy on the street. So he does look rather slender, and his legs are kind of unimpressive. But again, he was in great shape. He just wasn't, as I say, chemically enhanced. Now, when I first saw this figure, I was like, what's up with it? Why is the cape so high? So we're used to seeing the cape basically almost to the ankles. And I looked at the screen stills from the movie because I couldn't remember. And this is about accurate. So if the cape was laying flat as it does in the film, it would be about to the back of his knees. So that is accurate. I'm not going to deny that. But this one came with a ton of stuff. A whole, like, almost a Fortress of Solitude kind of diorama you could set up. And those are all in the box. And it does have the neat logo here from the Superman film. So this was what I really wanted. Now the stitching here is pretty even. So now, does that look like Christopher Reeve? I think I would say for a 1/12 scale, that's pretty good. That's really good. And I'm going to eventually show. I have a Henry Cavill 1/6 scale. So 1/6 scale would be 12 inches. So it's funny. 1/12 scale is 6 inches. 1/6 scale is 12 inches. And then if you look at the face sculpture from that one, which is by Hot Toys, it's frighteningly accurate to what he actually looks like. And I think that for those high-end 1/6 scale 12-inch figures, it's kind of expected that the facial sculpt will look pretty much exactly like the actor or actress. So this, though, I would say is a superior facial sculpt for a 1/12 scale figure, and it's got all the different, so he could be flying. Put his arm. Don't want to manipulate it too much. You could see how it's already kind of full. You could manipulate the fabric, but I don't like to do a lot of manipulation with the figure. So you could have him kind of flying up. If you have a, I do have these stands do come with braces, so I could technically have him in a flying stance with the brace clamped around, but I don't. I do use the brace on a lot of them, but I'm very careful with it because if the brace is clamping on, I don't think it would do anything to this figure. But if brace clamping on for say years, particularly if the figure were being held aloft and was putting pressure on it, yeah, it could maybe. I wouldn't say damage the figure, but it might. I don't know. I don't know if it would have any impact on it, but probably not. I mean, these are pretty light figures. They're not heavy, so I don't think it would do anything. But it could be visually pretty neat. He can't really put his head up that much for flying. So anyway, this is the Christopher Reeve Superman from Superman 1977.